Hello there, and welcome back to this unusual episode for the Vallow Daybell Case. There seems to be a lot of confusion and some heated debates going on pertaining to this case and the LDS faith. I'm going to address that today in a short video to make my position on it crystal clear. Not everyone will share my opinions, and that's perfectly fine. You know the old adage, never discuss politics or religion? There's a reason that that's such a popular phrase, and it's quite true. There is no way for me to discuss the LDS Church in relation to this case without upsetting someone somewhere. That's a simple fact that I'm going to have to live with as this case goes forward. I do want to clear up a few misconceptions though. First, I am not a religious person. I'm a very spiritual person, but I do not adhere to any organized religions, and I constantly endeavor to stay respectful of all systems of faith, whether or not I believe in them personally. If it was possible, I would cover the events of this particular case without ever mentioning the LDS Church and the beliefs therein. Unfortunately, given the very nature of the situation before us, that is completely impossible to do. Chad and Lori's beliefs are central to the crimes they are charged with, and their roots within the LDS Church cannot be ignored. To any Mormons that may be watching my channel, please let me say this. I have no problem with anyone who is Mormon or any other religion for that matter, and I have stated over and over again that I will not allow bashing of religions to take place in my live chats, and the mods and I have deleted hundreds and hundreds of comments that did just that. I will continue with that practice, as I feel that those types of comments are not necessary, useful, kind, or true. I respect your choice to follow your chosen faith. On the other hand, I do not share your beliefs personally, nor am I looking to convert. I cannot cover this case without discussing Mormonism to a degree, and I have spent a lot of time reading and researching so that I can have a better understanding of the LDS faith going forward. I have read the Pearl of Great Price, Doctrines and Covenants, and a good portion of the Book of Mormon. I am by no means an expert on Mormon scripture, but I wanted to at least understand the basics. I will get things wrong because I am not a Mormon, and I invite you to help me understand the basic principles of the LDS faith in a polite and respectful way, if and when I make mistakes, as I am bound to do. To those that never were or are no longer part of the LDS faith that watch this channel, I say this. I have no problem with anyone that isn't Mormon or any other religion either. I do not care if you're Catholic, Muslim, Jewish, or Pastafarian. Someone's personal belief system is not a factor for me, and I strive to be respectful of all religions the best I can. I would ask you, though, that you pause a moment when considering making comments about how strange you find the Mormon faith, and imagine how people of other faiths might view your own as strange and unusual as well. This is the crux of the problem when it comes to dealing with matters that involve religion. Everyone thinks that their own religion is the one right faith and all others are wrong, but that's not a game I'm willing to play. I have prepared a visual aid to try and make my point more clear. Now, I'm not a graphic designer, so I utilize the functions of a video game that I enjoy to try and illustrate my analogy. Imagine a field that stretches far beyond what the eye can see. Dotted all across this plain are deep and ancient wells. Although each well is in a different spot, and each one takes a different route to reach the waters underground, they all reach the same water at the end of the day. The people that live around this plain have all chosen the well that suits them the best. Perhaps it's the one that's closest to them, or the one that they can hoist the water up from the easiest. It matters not. It was their choice to pick their own well. In my happy little analogy here, each well represents a different religion. The water that is at the end of their journey represents the divine, called by many different names at each different well. I respect that everyone needs water to live, and everyone can pick their own source. I'm simply choosing not to pick one well to get that water from. Maybe instead I'll just collect the rain. So the comments bashing one religion or another, they seem almost silly to me, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I mean that arguing which well is the better route to the same water is kind of pointless. Well, their well is stupid because it bends halfway underground. How dumb is that? Or, no, their well is stupid because the opening is too small. Be happy with your well and leave everyone else to their own devices. That being said, I do have a rather unusual sense of humor, and there are times when I may make a joke here and there that can be taken as offensive or off-color or disrespectful to a particular system of faith. I apologize for that in advance. I will do my absolute best to minimize that at all times. I kind of find all religion funny for one reason or another. I'm an equal opportunity humor finder, but even though I may find things humorous, that doesn't mean that I still don't respect everyone's choice to believe exactly as they wish to believe. I hope that everyone can relax and discuss this case at hand without being so defensive of their own beliefs or so angry at others for their beliefs. Let's all come together and realize that just as with the well analogy, we are all here to get to the same underground river, the river of justice for Joseph Ryan, Charles Vallow, JJ Vallow, Tylee Ryan, Tammy Daybell, and yes, even Alex Cox if that applies. We're all working for the same goal. So let's bring our experiences and different areas of expertise together for the common goal instead of fighting with each other along the way. As far as this case is concerned, we have the two main players who at some point in their lives both claim to have been devout mainstream LDS members. Many of the other key players in this case also claim to be LDS, even in light of all that we now know. The defense and the state are going to argue for and against this, each in their turn, and it will have to be discussed. However, I intend to discuss that from the perspective of the legal ramifications of the involvement of the LDS Church, but not discuss the merits and flaws of the LDS faith itself. We will be looking at Chad's, Lori's, Melanie's, and everyone else's statements about their beliefs and measuring them against standard Mormon doctrine to identify the differences and the similarities. I realize that this will make some people uncomfortable, and I do understand that. However, it is part of this case, and I just ask that you try to stay strong in your faith and not let questions about someone else's application of those doctrines dictate your response to the person that delivers that information. I hope that clears a lot of things up. I will be referring to this video for those that continue to leave comments that range from, "Oh my God, you're so mean to Mormons, you should really learn what you're talking about before you start bashing us," to, "I can't believe you're siding with the LDS Church, you're so stupid." Let's just all relax and try to work together here, because what we're really concerned about is the fact that Tylee and JJ's remains were found in Chad's yard. I realize that I have a tendency to try and be a people pleaser and try to not offend anyone ever, but that's simply not possible in this situation. So, whether you're mad at me because you think I'm bashing Mormons, or you're mad at me because you think I'm not bashing Mormons, either way, try to take a step back from that and let's just talk about the case at hand. I hope that clears things up. Please feel free to ask me any questions in the comments below, but understand, disrespectful and rude comments on either side will be deleted for sure. So thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon.